Today we're going to host Ahmad Alzaini. He's an entrepreneur for Foodics company since 2011. And now we're going to start the interview with a couple of questions.
Thank you, Mr. Ahmad, for accepting our invitation for this interview. And I want to ask first question, what was your journey since the start of the company?
I started thinking about doing business when in high school, one of my friends, he invited me to participate with him in joining in one event. And I was his tech partner in that event. And we started, I actually participated not into technology, even in the capital of the event. And after the event, I realized that I have made 5x from the capital we have spent. So I was inspired that time that doing business is much better and easier than being an employed. So at that time I started thinking about that, and then the way to do it is to be so close to those inspired businessmen, such as Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, and those local businessmen. And from since I have participated in any single event that those inspiration people are available there. I start building relation with them. I start thinking, learning about the background of their success in their business. And from the time being, I started looking for my partnership. So I started thinking about building a team. So at that time, as I searched about the best developer I can have to hire him and start looking for the next level of business. So I started with one Indian developer. I was communicating with him remotely. But when I started getting a very big project, such as I worked with Aramco and I worked with the Interior Ministry here in the Eastern Prophet, I decided to get a professional technical team. I was at that time a one-man show. When I went there to get any deal, I started bargaining about having the business, and when the customers ask for more discount, so hey, I have to get back to my boss and take a permission for having this discount, and I get to myself because I was the boss. And that time I realized that getting a next level, you should build a team, because many of the entrepreneurs and business, they are thinking that the money, the capital, is the main asset. However, no, the money is available everywhere, and you can, if you have a smart vision, you can get this money. However, building a solid, professional, talented team is what we should have.
What is the history of Alwans? And when did you start food?
One of my classmates, he's a genius. I know he's a genius. It took from me a long time to convince him to partner with me. But Alhamdulillah, I share with him my faith and my vision, and finally he accepted my invitation. And we start meeting, and then we put our goal, whichever goal, that we need to get to the next level. We need to be specialized in a very specific business that we are participating in. Why? You know the polygrams, this my vision is, how becoming a unique, you should getting a step more over and over and over. Everybody have a technology company. Why? Because all of them are in the base of the pilgrims. However, if I get specified, and for example, in a Pacific services, I'm getting to the next. For example, Steve Jobs, when he invented the iPhone, it's an iPhone. He generated the new technology of the phone. That's why he became at the top of the pilgrims, and everybody can see him. That's what my mission was. The mission was to create that mission. We started the team, and we was only two, me and my friend. We started hiring. He hired his roommate. He was a very genius guy. Then I hired I was a designer as well, but when I started focusing on the business, I decided to hire a very professional designer. Why? So I focus on the business. Now we are only four. From four, we started doing the business, and one of the opportunity we came up is to do an electronic menu for the restaurants. At that time, we decided to have Foodics.
Thank you.
Mr. Ahmed, in 2013, Alwas started rejecting all projects from customers. How did you react with that?
Now we started having one of the ignitions of a good opportunity of Foodics. And at the same time, how I'm funding the business from the services that I'm doing, the technology services. At that time, I decided, because I believe in the opportunities of Foodics, so I started to stop and say no to all the big potential services to the for the company, which is Alwas. Why? Because I have a limited team. We was at that time maybe 6 or 7 people, and we decided those 7, I need them all to focus on our future business, which is Foodics. So I received many big,
even though applications, everything.
Yes, I received very big potential applications, service applications, paid. So I tell them no. But however, this is what makes different between the leader, the real entrepreneur, and the other one. Why? The real entrepreneur is a risk taker.
What is the consequences that you faced on Foodics? Can you fill us with this information, please?
The main consequences is how to convince my key team to remain in the company and motivate him. The problem is not they. The problem is the pressure they are getting from their family, and how they are ignoring international offers, which is more than 70% of his salary on me. So this is my challenge, is sharing him the company and my dream and my passion behind this company. And this is the real leader, that he should share his vision and mission to the key team.
So keeping the leadership known as for the customers.
Indeed.
We was at that time, we are facing very high pressure in controlling the team and the expenses in terms of the production in Foodics, and we are ignoring and disaccepting any of the coming projects because of that. And this is the important, as I mentioned, that you should share the faith, share the passion with your team.
Mr. Ahmed, what was the secret behind being on the cover of Forbes magazine and named one of the top 50 companies in the Middle East?
There's a very important point that entrepreneurs, they should focus on. they shouldn't work for getting award or getting any appreciation, or they accepting any appreciation. No, they should work for getting their own result. And at that time, all the successful awards, they will achieve it. Forbes magazine at that time, they was monitor all the successful businesses and the main potential and potential growing business. They reach out of me actually in 2015, in beginning of 2015, and they start doing their own due diligence. At that time, I really didn't, it's a good opportunity. However, I have a very important project to focus on. And this press and magazine, it will come by default. Alhamdulillah, I wasn't accepted that at the end of this year, 2015 year, that I will be on the top 100 promising startups in Forbes magazine. It was really encouraging my team to keep in that, and this was really a very good motivating the family of my key team. My family, their family was convinced that yes, my son, he might be good, he might be right, that being in this company, they will create the new Facebook, for example. When I started achieving very, very great and expanding from Khobar to Riyadh, and opening my third office in Jeddah, my fourth office in Cairo and in Dubai, and this where I'm now. Alhamdulillah, Forbes magazine, after their due diligence, nominated me to the top 50 promising startup in the Middle East. And that what give me really a push for me, and I share it as well among the team.
Finally, we need an advice from you for the new startups companies in the region.
Actually, when the new vision of the kingdom started 2030 by Mohammed bin Salman, Prince Mohammed bin Salman, the real impact behind the empowerment of the economy here in Saudi Arabia is to build up a new local entrepreneur and local successful fast-growing business. And actually that was started from the education and the creating a new ecosystem in the environment. And I believe, and the vision itself believes, that it started from the universities. Your university, Imam Abdulrahman bin Faisal, that they take care of this mentality. It's very important, very critical, and that's why I can really see that you guys and your team, especially your professor, they can create a new entrepreneur and help us the kingdom vision 2030. And this is my advice behind of being an entrepreneur is focus. You should focus in what you believe. Focusing on what you believe and trust that you have a governor that will help you and take you to the right direction. And all what you need to do is focus and believe in what you are doing. Spend as much study, ask, and start right away. Don't create a border for you. Don't be a negative. In the entrepreneur world is you have to motivate and be a self-motivated and just be a risk taker. This is my short advice to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm happy that I'm talking today about a success story which is now onward being actual. Nowadays everybody is talking about Foodics. Foodics is a company, entrepreneur, being provided by Saudi's members. It achieves and provides a lot of success for retail and for restaurants owners to integrate their services to be developing their sales in a smart way. To be honest, this success starts by a beginning of a lot of failure. Failure does not mean that you should give up. Never give up. That's what happened by my brother Ahmed. He's the CEO and co-founder of Foodics company. Once they started, it started since we graduated from King Fahd University and PR members in the public relation committee at the university. Then they added those things like an A to Z company. It started with an advertisement and media solution. After that, it started for a new project for supporting development for selective of companies. The things that we are talking about nowadays is to focus and concentrate in order to achieve good results. Those stages let us know and focusing with the partners where he should go to. After that, it being customized and focused for a sales, for restaurants, and to using an IT technology which is now on Foodics. So those three phases started by a lot of experiences. So anyone want to start such a project, he need to go and to share others' experiences, success projects. So when you want to just go ahead and to achieve any success project, idea, numbers should talk. Like nowadays, my colleague in the company, friends, family, they're talking about Foodics, which was nothing since it started. So how you can create this story? It being created by yourself, by your thinking, which being done by the team. So two things were created in Ahmed team, which are two things. How do you need to cancel it? Which are two things. One is the good partners. Two, the clear idea, which is fitted to what you love. So when you love something, you should fight for it. That's what happened, which I can see it in these team, which I can see it in those team, and Foodics. Totally, you should just focus and concentrate that this is what I love, or this is what we love, which is right. We should say we, because working as a team, teamwork will develop and will let you achieve your dreams to come true. Overall, I would like to thank all the team for this success story, which will be eligible for the Vision of the Kingdom 2030, which supports all Saudis to create their own projects, which start by a simple idea and a good partners, and to goal and to target what you love in order to develop and develop and develop and never give up. That's all. And this is a real, actual success story which should be shared with a lot of entrepreneurs. They are planning to apply and to achieve such a successful project. Thank you.
I am Ahmad's friend. I am the owner of Royal Bakery. I started the business since 2015. I recommend using Foodics system as it will easily monitor, and it has features which call live streaming, which will reduce the cost as you no need to hire more waiters, and also you will easily add any meals you would like I recommend you to buy this system. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Omar AlDoassary. I learned from this project the importance of teamwork, and to be successful you have to put in time and effort.
My name is Mishary, Alyosif, and I learned that the right approach is to do something you're passionate about, and not only think of financial reward.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Mohamad Alfarran. I learned about the project, how important it is to have and be part of networks of minded people.
Assalamu alaikum, my name is Talal Almusned, and I learned from this video our project is to never be afraid of taking risks and be prepared to take any chances.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Alsuwaigh, and I have learned that leaving your workplace isn't the wrong decision all the time. It may be a good decision in something else, such as business.
I'm Abdulaziz, and I've learned from this project that when you find your strength, grab it and stay focused on it, because there is no goal better than succeeding on something that you admire.